Week 8 recap. We're doing another daytime recap. I am surprised because I was excited to see how Untouchables did this week. I purposely motivated them by done chaining them, and it was very difficult to do. And he went ahead and got the highest total points this week. So I got excited, like, oh, is he going to talk that shit in the comments? In the group message, and then we could kind of like have this like nice little rivalry. He's motivating his guys. He's using me as motivation. I don't see anything in the comments, which concerns me about Captain Corrupt. I feel like if he did, I would have really felt momentum, but unfortunately right now I think it's just might be a flash in the pan. But let's talk about this week anyway. How did he do? Had to earn this one because played against a good El Grenas team who put up 146 points. Untouchables 182. And it's one of those games where everyone performed. Absolutely remarkable contributions. Devontae Smith, McBride, Mooney, Pollard, Kyron Williams, Kyler, everyone doing about 20-plus points there in that group. And again, this is without Mike Evans, who's injured. This is while benching KCD for a better Pittsburgh defense. A great start by you. What do I expect out of Untouchables? It's hard to say continued success, but I mentioned it when I done chained him. If he wasn't 1-6, it's not a horrible team. It's just so hard to come back from 1-6 unless you have an OP team. I don't view this team as OP, honestly. I still think Darnell Mooney's going to have a lot of off weeks. Devontae Smith's going to have off weeks. It's just such a hot up and down team. I just see a few losses coming. But we'll see. I could be wrong. I've been wrong many times. Never with the done chain, though. Never with the done chain. El Grenas obviously wanted that win. Falls to 4-4. A bit frustrating because CJ Stroud loses another weapon in Stephon Diggs. And then D-Hop, right when he signed with the Chiefs, was a very risky start. It's hard to say. I mean, your next best wide receiver, you have McMillan, you have Tolbert, you have JSN, you have Wandale. They're all, like, solid wide receivers. I think most people would say JSN was the start. And he did get 12.4. Would have gotten you another 8 points. Wouldn't have made a difference, but that's one of the only starts that really had me scratching my head. The good news for you, Mark Andrews is really showing out. And I don't think anyone's really concerned with your running back group, Bijan and Gibbs. It's more so who is going to step up at wide receiver, and hopefully for you, D-Hop does because he could be great. CJ Stroud, I still think will be good, but obviously no Nico for now, no Diggs for the season is going to be a little bit tougher for you. So we'll see what happens with El Grenas. But that was a pretty good game. There was a blowout for El Professor beating Pain Train. Both teams go to 4-4, making the playoff picture a lot more exciting. And El Professor did it without Jordan Mason, who got hurt very early on and is probably done being an RB1 unless CMC re-aggravates his knees. I have Mason, but I've accepted that he served his purpose. Very tough week this week for Jordan Mason, but everyone else for you made sure they got you. CeeDee Lamb, 40 points. HM, 47 points. Marvin Harrison, 26 points. Brian Thomas, frustrating because without Kirk, he's going to be wide receiver 1, but now he's hurt. Most likely going to miss a little bit of time. So the question is, where do you go from here on wide receiver 3? Most people expect you to bump up Xavier Worthy and then either give Calvin Ridley a chance or maybe even Pittman if Flacco at quarterback, who they just announced, you think that he's going to help him. I think you have enough options there, but definitely something to monitor there with the Brian Thomas injury. When he's back, there's a scary team. Pain Train, on the other hand, only 123, a bit of an off week led by Caleb Williams, only getting 9 points. Derrick Henry also didn't have his crazy off game, and you had a very risky start with Dalvin Cook, who hasn't played football in a long time. The good news for you is Tyreek Hill obviously is beginning to emerge again with Tua. I think he's in for a big week. Malik Neighbors beginning to emerge again fully healthy. Tank Dell now doesn't have Nico or Diggs, so big opportunity for you. Kincaid also looking good. So I actually think both these team stocks are rising, El Professor and Pain Train, going into next week compared to where they were going into this week. We'll see if that holds true. Dust in the Wind falls to 5-3. The upset team of the year falls to my prediction, Chef Cesario, coming into the season and still now the team that I'm saying is a finals team, and played like it. 169 points. Purdy, 31 points. This was a Kenneth Walker off week, but Saquon did his job. A.J. Brown did his job, sure. Zay had a really, really nice game. Debo got hurt going to the fourth, but still decent. Kamara did his job. A lot of guys doing their jobs, and then just Kyle Pitts going above what you would expect with those 2 touchdowns. Very impressive. I don't expect him to do this consistently, but he's clearly a tight end you must start. You probably have a top 6 tight end on your hands, and that's going to help your team. What do you do with Ferguson on the bench? I don't know. If someone wants him, it might be a good opportunity to ship him for some value now that Pitts is really showing that it's his job. It's his job. For Dust in the Wind, obviously Baker Mayfield, the concern was without his wide receivers. Is he bad now? Nope, 33.3 points. He did great for you. The issue for you was really most other players. DJ Moore, Reed, Hubbard, all single digits, very frustrating. Bateman, also single digits. He got the first catch of the game, I think. Nothing since. Don't think it's panic button time for Dust in the Wind, but again, it's a team that when I say some stocks are rising, I think this stock might be slightly falling. Obviously, DK might come back next week. That could help you. Deontay Johnson could get traded to a really good team that could help you, but we shall see there. It'd be sick if the Chiefs get Deontay Johnson too. I don't know if that's even possible. I doubt it, but man, would that be sick for Mahomes. I have Mahomes. Okay, 2 more matchups left. The more competitive of the two was Banditos winning by 21 over Crucifier. Crucifier really needed this win. Falls to 3-5. A lot of fans are like, what's going on? Jordan Love getting banged up obviously did not help. But a lot of guys did do their jobs. I mean, you got a good game from Garrett Wilson, Jamar Chase, Kareem Hunt, James Conner. Pickens did well, and he should have done better with that touchdown. Evan Ingram now, is he going to be great without the wide receivers in Jacksonville? Potentially. DeAndre Swift. I don't think this is a game to panic. 141 is a good score. 3-5 is not a good record, but you have a good team. I think this team still has fun firepower. Banditos, a big win to go to 4-4. And when we talk about firepower, I mean, this is the kind of team that we're talking about. I mean, Amano had a crazy off game. Luckily, got a touchdown, but only 7.7 points. 2 catches, 7 yards with that touchdown. Everyone else did their job. Lamar Jackson, Josh Jacobs, Monty, Olave. It's because I said Monty. I have Olave. I say Olave's name 10 times a day. Don't think I think it's Olave. Oh my gosh, I'm going to get grilled in the comments. Obviously, you lose Diggs, but first let me say Njoku and Najee Harris both look amazing. And, I mean, you have some depth on this team. You have great running back depth. Nick Chubb, Madison, both on the bench. I think it's one of those teams that's so deep at running back, you really could make a move. You have 5 good running backs. I think this is the ultimate trade for a wide receiver team for Banditos. So let me track for myself. Banditos trade for a wide receiver. I told you all when Banditos had a slower start, I said, I love this team. Banditos is going to make a run. I still totally feel that way. But I'm going to need a wide receiver on that team. Okay, and then team we went with Jared Falls, unfortunately. I did say I think this team's still going to – I still think this team's squeezed into the playoffs, so I'm going to just hold on to that prediction. Dust in the Wind, by the way. Did any of the trades cost them this week? Hard to track. No, McLaurin's been really good. Okay, anyway, Electric Beats, we went with Jared 170 to 140. We went with Jared. I mean, again, it's not a horrible week, but you had a couple dud performances. Lockett without DK Metcalf shockingly did really bad. Devontae Adams just taking a while to load up on this team. Tucker misses another field goal. Your defense, meh. I don't know. I think Benji Puka was the right call. I'm not going to get on you for that, but I think you plugged Puka in here and this team's legit again. So, yeah, I mean, we went with Jared. I still think squeezed into the playoffs. I said you're going to make a run when Puka's healthy. Technically, he was healthy this week, but you didn't play him. Let's say next week. I think you go on a run. If you started Puka, 21.6 points, no. Even over Lockett would have been an extra 20 points. You would have fell short. So you're good. All right, Electric mainly got it from Jalen Hurts, 41 points, and James Cook, 35 points. The rest of the team, honestly, Drake London disappointing, Brees kind of disappointing, Amari Cooper very disappointing. Starting both Amari and Shakir risky, but Shakir did have a good game. Joe Mixon obviously continues to have a great game. You have McConkey on your bench, who's obviously showing a lot of potential. Does Addison get traded at the deadline? We'll see. But Electric 6-2, and I don't think anyone's concerned. No one feels like I need to give him tips. He's kind of sure that he's set. He's fine. So, obviously some firepower with this team, but it's not my front runner just yet. It's not my front runner yet. So yeah, storyline here is it's still pretty competitive league. The only done change just won a game and top points. So Untouchables, if you win another one, start talking your shit, and then it's something to watch. But either way, good luck to everybody in week 9. Talk to you soon. Wait, week 9? Yeah, week 9.